Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Laps Down podcast. My name is Andrea.
And I'm MJ.
And sorry we did not have an episode last week. Basically, what happened was we were supposed to be talking about Bowman Gray on that episode, and then Bowman Gray did not happen. And me and MJ had a executive level conversation and decided we had nothing else to say about motorsports. So we were like, best not get on here then. That's kind of the whole point of the podcast, huh? But we have plenty to say about motorsports this week, correct?
Correct. Confirmed.
Some of these things are things that happened last week, but we needed to cook on them. We needed to sit with them. We needed to settle with them. And I think we're ready to talk about them now. Did you want to start just right up front with the controversial stuff? Do we want to get controversial?
Yeah, so IndyCar did some fuckassery last week. Last week? 2 weeks ago? When did this happen? Week. Recently. Definitely recently. Yeah. Last week. And Roger Penske, alongside current sitting president of the United States, Donald Trump, under executive order.
And the president of Fox Sports.
Yeah. Announced that there's going to be
with this either. You're part of this.
No.
You're part of this.
Fox has its dirty little claws in here. Shocking. I'm shocked. Literally. Whoa. Announced that there is going to be a race in Washington, D.C. in allegedly 2026, which is actually the year that we currently reside in, called the Freedom 250.
If you're wondering, didn't we already have a schedule for the IndyCar season? Yes. Don't worry. We're just shoving it in randomly. Towards the end of the season, we're going to have, I think, 5 weekends in a row of racing, including this race. You might be wondering, is there a track map? No, they didn't do that. You might be wondering who's paying for this. Taxpayer dollars.
I think
usually
we are.
We paid for it. They keep calling it free, but it feels a hell of a lot like I pay taxes. So I don't know if that's how that works. So, I mean, I have said a lot of my piece on the internet about this. Not a lot of it is probably a good representation of how I actually feel. It was more of just immediate reactions with a lot of cuss words in it, which is kind of how I lash out about things.
Emotion,
yeah. Now that I've sat with the fact that we are going to have a fuck-ass race that was thrown together at the last minute and broadcasted on basically state-owned media as a dick-sucking festival for Donald J. Trump, I'm still not feeling better about it. I'm not feeling good about it. 0 out of 10.
The whole thing, gross, pathetic, icky, stupid, dumb, irresponsible, dangerous, tacky. I mean,
tacky.
Throw that on at the end.
I think pathetic is the perfect word for it. It so feels pathetic. It's like Roger Penske. Did you see he wrote a thank you note to Donald Trump after the meeting?
He can't write that geriatric old ass.
Oh, thank you for letting us have our little race in your town, sir. That's him licking the fucking boot of Donald J. Trump, okay? Literally, it's like, dude, stand up. It's so embarrassing. Embarrassing. Have some decorum. I don't know what else to say.
It's truly so pathetic. I'll allow myself to be disappointed, but I will not allow myself to be surprised, because at the end of the day, Roger Penske is exactly who you think he is, and that's why IndyCar, which is mostly made up of immigrants, by the way, a lot of the drivers are not American, and the ones who are American kind of suck ass, so that's just something to think about.
Not good.
Santino Ferrucci is representing our country alongside Graham
Rahal.
Great.
The best we have really is honestly Joseph Newgarden. He really truly is the best of them. And guess what? He had not shit to do about this. You didn't hear a peep from that man about this race.
It's just it's also embarrassing. It's and I think everybody and their mother has reposted not NASCAR John. Not to dead name him. Trackside John.
Trackside John.
He's rebooted boots down.
Uh-huh.
His video where he talks about sports washing, which he was actually talking about the Daytona 500 of last year and being like, they're going to do things to distract us from things that are
Yeah.
actually going on. And I mean, this is just another example. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about IndyCar. Washington, D.C. doesn't give a fuck about IndyCar.
Oh my. Take this as a former local. I've lived in Michigan again now for like a couple months, but before that, I lived in Arlington, Virginia, and I worked in Washington, D.C. If you think that the locals of Washington, D.C. are going to be excited about this race and happily attend, you have another thing coming. There is nothing DC locals hate more than these shenanigans. I remember when there was the dick-sucking Donald J. Trump birthday army parade a couple months ago that nobody attended, and they didn't show any crowd shots because nobody was there. I remember like people were going to protesting. The only reason why they didn't is because they threatened to bring out the National Guard against protesters. I don't think this is going to go on without a hitch. I think that if you have deluded yourself into thinking that any press is good press for IndyCar, you live in a fantasy world that I would love to be a part of, because I really don't think that you have a good grasp on how truly divisive this is. And the only people that I've seen that have been like, well, why can't you just enjoy things? Or why can't we just have a race in DC? Like, how cool is that? Or like, why can't we just like agree this is good for the series? The only people I've seen say that are white men. I really haven't seen a single other person say that.
Yeah, it's the usual suspects. You'll see them.
You'll see them. Mm-hmm. You know,
clearly any publicity isn't good publicity. Guys, how many months ago was it that the AI IndyCar was promoting a detention center? Like, and we have this conversation.
It's a self-inflicted wound, and they're going to suffer the consequences of it. And this bitch is already infected, bro. This is festering at the surface right now, but as months go by and this race becomes more and more of a shit show, I believe firmly and truly the best case scenario is that it's canceled quietly.
It's gonna, like, outside of everything, having a street race with like zero planning in a few months, it's incredibly dangerous. Like
in August, in a swamp. Guys, this is gonna be bad.
Crazy. If it even, and then you were telling me about how the sponsors wouldn't even be allowed to be on the cars, period.
By law. So, okay. Thank you so much for bringing this up. So you might be wondering.
Speak on it.
I feel like at one point I heard that this had to be congressionally approved. Correct. So originally this was going to have to get congressional approval because of this law that you can't show sponsorship on the National Mall, which that's a problem if you have sponsors all over your race suits and your cars. And I'm assuming you're going to want sponsors on the boards of the racetrack, whatever. And so Congress was like kind of the process to get that to be possible. But Congress obviously was like, hey, so we have like other things to worry about at the moment, like everything else. And so then they just are doing whatever the fuck they want. So yes, by law, you can't do that. But Graham Rahal said he has sponsors out the wazoo for this race. So
sick.
I don't know what's going to happen there. But I guess all it would really take is one person in Congress to do something about the president just doing whatever the fuck he wants and making up the rules as he goes. And this could be a problem within the next 6 months. Also, I've noticed that they've already started building like grandstands and stuff for the Arlington race. Like it kind of seems like you need like a lot of time to do that. I don't know like what we're going to do really if we don't really even have a track map.
No, and I see where you're coming from. And it did take like multiple years to plan the Arlington race.
In fact, we were told we couldn't have Mexico because they needed like years and years and years to plan that. But I'm sure IndyCar's got it together. Yeah.
Oh, if there's one thing they do, it's have it together. And we've always said that.
Famously, they're really good at They're really good at planning and promoting their races. That's why they're always so well sold and well attended.
Sick. Can't wait.
Oh,
Can't wait.
The week before this race is another first-time track street race. It's Markham. So they're going to do 2 back-to-back first-time races. I think that's
street
good.
courses, too.
Street courses.
Because if there's one thing IndyCar needs, it's more street courses.
And everybody has been saying that.
That's what the president says. He goes, if there's one thing.
My favorite thing is all the people that are like in the comments, you know, after you scroll past all the Epstein 250 and this is a Nazi race and all that. Once you scroll past all that, you get to the people. Wins. Yeah. You get to all the comments of people that are like, politics aside, I think this race is going to be ass.
Politics aside, I'm worried about them planning it this quickly. Seems dangerous. It's like, okay. Well, is that politics aside? I'm not sure. That's besides the point, I guess.
True. Yeah. It probably will be. So if you were listening to this podcast and you thought we were going to have a really mild and fence riding take on this, unfortunately, you're out of luck. This is kind of a fuck ICE, fuck fascism sort of podcast. I hope you guys are cool with that. And
it always has been.
We're very anti-sucking the dick of Trump and pro IndyCar getting off their hands and knees and acting like a real racing series. We're pro that. Any other stances we want to take, or do you think we got them covered?
I mean, fascism bad, my guys. Anyone who has listened to the amount of people who messaged me and was like, I didn't expect this from you. It's like, what have you been listening to? The amount of times we have just like said digs at this administration. Like,
that's just
I don't know. If you're disappointed, guys, me too. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I know you guys weren't wanting your political takes from your motorsports podcast, but there's not really politics aside for this one. It's kind of all politics. The whole thing.
Sports are political. Everything's political, especially now.
Yeah.
Wake up, people.
So now that we've woke mobbed the Washington, D.C. race, we can also talk about the fact that Penske, they were really on a roll last week. They quietly were like, hey, by the way, Tim Cindric is kind of back. He's like back as Scotty Mac's strategist, but they were like, hey, do you guys remember when we kind of fired him in shame? Do you guys kind of remember when we fired him because we were like, we wanted to be like an honest organization and like the cheating thing and the attenuator thing or whatever? Do you guys remember that? So hopefully not. Hopefully you don't remember it because he's back.
He said sorry, so we let him back. Sorry, guys. He said sorry. That was
Austin Cindric was like, woo! I am so locked in. This shit is rocking.
Nepotism is so back. Guys, happy for him. That was crazy. I wonder if they just saw, because everyone else they fired has immediately been, not immediately, but picked up by other teams, and they were like, fuck, we can't.
Dude, being honest sucks. Everybody else is just not caring.
Penske was like, I own the fucking series. Wait a minute.
Okay. So the whole point was cheating, I thought. Okay, so then when we cheated and you guys all got mad at us for it, we tried to like pretend like we cared, and then we started losing races. So what the fuck is that about?
Hey, wait a minute. Oh God,
yeah.
Congrats, Tim. Sick.
Honestly, like, is it bad that I'm kind of like, yeah, that's just Penske? Like, we should let Penske be Penske, I guess.
Might as well. Scotty Mac was really happy about it. So, like, what am I can't yuck his yum, I guess.
It is funny that he's, like, back as, like, a strategist, though. So it's like, he's going to be like, I can hardly cheat in this role. So, like, it's not even a big deal.
It's still, at the end of the day, Tim Cindric wasn't on his hands and knees blending that attenuator.
Everybody was just following his orders, though. This is like a metaphor for fascism.
I see what's happening.
Yeah. Very Penske, if you ask me.
Hey, he's exactly who you think he is.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever, Tim Cindric. I kind of like Tim Cindric. Tim Cindric, please don't voice any political opinion. Just, I can't today with you.
Stay
Just
off of X.
I don't want to hear about it from you, okay? I don't want to hear about it from you, Tim Cindric, but that's fine. You can be a strategist.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Maybe I'll allow it, yeah. At the end of the day, that's what's important.
Yeah. Do you think he's definitely getting a decrease in pay, probably.
Well, he was like demoted, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so he's entry level because he's starting in a new position. He's getting entry level pay, no benefits.
Yeah, we need pay transparency from Penske here. How much is Tim Cindric getting paid? Beyond?
Release the files. Let us see.
Well, I'm sure Penske doesn't want all files released. Okay, allegedly. Geez, sorry, I can't make a fucking joke.
Address me! Oh, God.
Anywho, anything else IndyCar? I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for St. Pete. We have a little bit of St. Pete news. Dario is going to be driving in the trucks race for St. Pete.
And when that was announced, I was like, that's not true. That's not true.
You thought it was a lie?
I was like, well, I would assume it was one of those like fuck ass accounts. I'm like, I'm getting got. And then they messaged it in the ATYL chat. And I was like, oh my God. He's doing it.
He's driving the Dollar Tree truck and on off track with just Hinch, the way I like it. He said something. What? I'm just getting all my controversial takes out today. I mean,
let's start the season off right. Now you know who we are and what we
you guys are familiar with Laps Down now. So on off track, he said something like, "I'm going to be driving the Dollar Tree truck," and then he kind of went. He kind of giggled about it
into a Dollar Tree.
I don't know. In the ATYL chat, who was it? Ben maybe said that he lives in North Carolina, so maybe he's about that life.
Oh hell yeah! I love a Dollar Tree.
I prefer a Dollar General personally.
Our Dollar General is such a shit show. When you come visit me, I'll take you to our Dollar General. We got rid of our Dollar Tree, but I'll take you to our Dollar General, and you'll be like, I get it. But that is so funny that Dario Franchitti is doing.
Yeah.
Of all the people I thought they were going to get for the truck race, it wasn't. It never even crossed my mind. I was like, maybe Ryan Hunter-Reay.
I said we needed an IndyCar tribute, and I'm happy with our IndyCar tribute. I think this is fun. He was talking about how excited he is. He's like, I can drive St. Pete in my sleep in an IndyCar. He's like, I know what the fuck is going down at St. Pete. Like, he's like, I know the track. I'm ready. I've been dreaming of driving St. Pete again. And I'm just like, let's fucking go.
Absolutely bully these kids is what he's going to do. Imagine getting bullied by Dario Franchitti at work.
Honestly, sign me up. Sign me up.
Down.
Down. Wood. I definitely think it's going to be fun. I think it's getting a good attention. I think this truck race is going to be like one of the most watched truck races of the season because I think it's just like
100%
so fun. I love how we're like kind of just turning it into a little bit of like a all-star situation. We need more big names to sign up for this truck race. Like, I'm not satisfied yet. Like, Dario is a great start, but I need more. Apparently Jimmy Johnson's going to be there in Dario's pit box, and I'm like, what's she doing up there? Get in the truck.
Get in the truck. You guys don't have money for another truck? Get in the truck.
Get in the truck, Jimmy Johnson. Get in the truck.
I love Jimmy Johnson.
Is it bad that I think I could do a truck race?
I think anyone could do a truck race.
I think of all motorsports, I'm like, I could do that. I wouldn't say I was going to win, but like I could do it.
You would finish the track. I think you would finish the race.
Absolutely.
Maybe not on the lead lap, but definitely finish it.
Only like I was max 2 laps down.
Oh, 100%. Like with minimal damage. You were just cautious around some corners, and that's what slowed you down.
Yeah. I think I could do it.
Get her in a
Put me on
truck.
the truck race. Wait,
Jimmy,
they have like that.
call
They have that
us.
little Jimmy, please. They have that Ram truck situation where like every race is gonna have like a mystery driver.
Maybe you could be one of the mystery drivers. Maybe we already know that, and this is us soft launching it.
Gauging interest. Me, St. Pete. What do you guys think? I don't know. Is that the truck race I'd want to do? I would say I'd want to do the Roval, but that's fucking dead.
I don't even want to talk about it.
It'd have to be a road course. It'd have to be a road course. On an oval,
think
I would
it would be
stomped.
It would be significant. Like, I don't think everyone could do it on an oval. I don't even think most truck drivers can do it on an oval, if I'm being completely honest.
No, they don't all
You could
make
do
it.
Watkins Glen. That would be fun. That was a shit show, but it could be fun.
I don't know. I'd have to watch a couple Watkins Glen races. I'm not that familiar with Watkins Glen. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Bowling.
Go bowling Watkins Glen Cup race. Who okay, we have Jimmy and Dario. Who do we need to like round out this cast of characters for the truck race?
I really, really want a current IndyCar driver to do it.
I would, because it's the season opener, would they let anybody do it? Who's brave enough to let
who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Get him out there. At the end of the day,
Alex Palou is winning the championship. So what the fuck are you guys out here doing?
You gotta start having fun from the jump, or it's gonna get too serious. Yeah. You gotta get Christian Rasp. I think Christian would be amazing in a truck race.
I think Christian would be amazing. I think we're gonna be cursed with Connor Daly. He's probably gonna do it.
Yeah, but he's not even an IndyCar driver. He just has a podcast. Us too.
I have a podcast.
Something to think about.
Makes you think. Well, we can table that discussion, I guess, when it gets closer to St. Pete and we have more of our options open. Speaking of NASCAR, Bowman Gray finally happened on a Wednesday. What do you think about a race on a Wednesday? I kind of fucked with it.
It started while I was still at work, so if it was a little bit later, I would have fucked with it. But I think it is. I was really excited when it was going to be on a Monday. And I was like, Monday night NASCAR. That's kind of fun. That kind of has a ring to it. But then by the time I got to Wednesday, I was like, still got 2 more days of work, guys. I'm not as ambitious.
I kind of wish that NASCAR was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday sport. I wish we did like trucks on Thursday, Xfinity on Friday, Cup on Saturday. Saturday seems like a sweet spot. A lot of people wanted them to do the race today if they were going to delay it. But they said that they couldn't do that because of getting like the haulers and everything to Daytona in time for qualifying and whatnot next week. They were like, it's cutting a little too close. But I kind of liked the Wednesday, and it ended up going very late into the night by way of Bowman Gray is a ridiculous track and a ridiculous concept. They did it all in one day, though. They did the qualifyings. I didn't watch those, but I did watch the last chance qualifying. Did you watch that race?
I didn't get to. No.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you the rundown. It was short and sweet. It was quite entertaining, though. Basically, so I turned it on. Riley Herbst gets spun. Very symbolic of how I expect their 2026 to go. Do you think he is in a hot seat? Do you think that there is a chance he loses his seat the middle of the season? How much money do you think he has? Do you think he has enough to last the full season?
I think his money is paying for a lot of the other drivers' contracts. And so I think he's going to be there for a minute unless Corey Haim can get a lot of money real quick.
All right, Corey, let's go talk to Toto.
Let's go see what Milton's got going on real quick.
Hey, so in IndyCar, there's a little hack we have where if you're poor, you go talk to Toto and see what
unlimited money hack.
Unlimited. It's like the mother load hack in Sims. If you're broke, go talk to Toto, see whatever he's cooking, and now you have a seat. Good job. We got to find him like an AI partner or something. We got to figure out wherever the fake money is going. We got to get Corey Haim some of that.
Persephone. We could ask Persephone.
If you guys are new here, so Persephone is actually Perplexity, which is that stupid AI that Lewis Hamilton uses. Okay. I just wanted it for the new audience.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, do you think he's dating Kim Kardashian?
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Anywho, Michael McDowell gets a penalty while he's leading the last chance qualifying race for jumping the start. What a
I forgot he was
I'm
out
sorry.
there.
I love you, Michael McDowell, but that is like such a. They were like, so that's actually the one thing you can't do, basically, if you want to.
It would
make
be
it to
Michael.
the big show.
Yeah.
They kept saying that if you want to make it to the show, you can do that.
This is
the
like
show being
dress rehearsal. It's like we should be off book by now, Michael.
Michael, please. I thought that was interesting. He was the only Spire Motorsports car to not make it. Daniel Suarez and Carson Hocevar didn't even have to do the last chance qualifying. I forgot. Haley, is he doing trucks?
With Dario Franchitti.
With our good friend Dario Franchitti. I forgot that Corey LaJoie was there for Brad. Did you remember that? I forgot Brad broke his leg something and that he wasn't going to be there.
In a snow accident.
Yeah, and I literally was like, why is Corey LaJoie here? What's going on? He had a mustache, and I thought it was kind of a pathetic attempt to be Ryan Blaney. It was like it was like a little too like, please. Like, you're not Ryan Blaney. It's important to me that you know that, Corey LaJoie. I can tolerate you when you're on the Prime broadcast, but like, you got to chill. So he's also going to be doing the 500 next week. I don't know. I think I can't decide whether or not. I think that Corey, you know how you always say like you like drivers that are kind of pathetic. There's a little part of me where I want something good for Corey LaJoie, even though I understand why people don't like him. And I feel guilty about that sometimes.
It's hard because he's not like pathetic of his own. Like, he is pathetic of his own accord. It's not like bad things like keep happening to him. He's like, you talk shit and now you're like
making the bad things.
Right. So I'm like, this is self-inflicted. He's got a weird kink for this. We have to let him carry it out on his own. Yeah. If something good happens to him, I hope it happens during the Prime broadcast. Otherwise, I don't know if I care.
So basically the two first place finishers that immediately doesn't make sense. The top two finishers of the last chance qualifying were the ones that would move on to the actual race. We had Josh Berry out in front, not a worry in the world. He was winning this last chance qualifier, which is so weird because apparently he was in the last chance qualifier last year and also ended up getting into the race that way. And I'm like, so Josh Berry can be good at Bowman Gray just at the absolute last minute. Like, I'm like, why are you here?
He can be the best of the worst is what he can do.
Yeah, that's so Josh Berry. But he is out in front, not a worry in the world. So battling for that second spot that will move into the actual show, we have Corey LaJoie. Obviously, lots of people would be very excited for him to make it to the actual race. And he wants to prove himself because he only really has these couple races to fill in for Brad / do the 500. We have Austin Cindric, who both of his teammates have already made it into the actual race. And he's in a Penske, please. Like, you need to make the race. And then we have Allmendinger, who is just doing his thing. By his thing, I mean like randomly deciding he really wants to win this particular race and will take anybody out in the process to do so. He just gets like these little spurs up his ass where I'm like, what are you doing, Allmendinger? Why are you all of a sudden caring so much?
It's so random. Also, anyone who like cares that much at the clash at Bowman Gray. Like, I remember last year, a bunch of the drivers being like, I didn't know we were going to try that hard. And it's like, yeah, well, apparently we are. So
yeah,
get into it or don't.
Yeah, he randomly decided he really wanted to win this race. So it was actually the last 10 laps extremely fun to watch because it is lots of bumper to bumper, like purposefully kind of trying to move people out of your way to get to that last spot. There's only one other person that's going to move on. Eventually, it ends up with Corey LaJoie and Austin Cindric literally side by side, and Allmendinger deciding like on the second to last lap, like, I have one last chance effort here to try to make it in the show. And he bumps Austin Cindric from behind. And in doing so is literally like bumping him ahead of Corey LaJoie and into that transfer spot. Nice. So Austin Cindric ends up transferring with Josh Berry. But it was really interesting to watch. Corey LaJoie is like, of course, like, well, shit. And then, you know, Austin Cindric's like, phew. But then, of course, Allmendinger's like, well, had to give it a go, I guess. And he's like, excited for Daytona. I loved the Rolex 24. And I was like, once again, you should be an IMSA driver. You seem like you really fucked with that.
You belong there. They really love you. You love them.
You should be an IMSA driver. But whatever. That's Allmendinger. We'll talk about that at a later time. But I don't know. I mean, congrats for Austin Cindric. It is like kind of not as fun when somebody like that ends up getting the transfer spot, because it's like you and Josh Berry are actually both basically in Penske cars. Like you should just already kind of be there. So it's like kind of, it ruined the fun a little bit of the last chance qualifier, because it wasn't like a wild card person is getting in. It's like two people that probably should have already been in the show.
Isn't that what happened at Daytona last year? It was Austin Cindric and who was the other person? Oh, it was Eric Jones that he kicked out Eric Jones. So I feel like at the beginning of the season, Austin just kind of has this vibe where he's like, I'm gonna steal this spotlight from somebody else who could probably have it. Like, I know I probably could have made it in on my own accord, but like, wouldn't it be cool if I beat up all these other people in worse machinery?
I think I would like it more if he had a mustache. I was just kind of looking at him and I was like, well, we've already established you can have a mustache. Like, Ryan Blaney has a mustache right now. So I was kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, that's not the Austin Cindric I know and love, really. So I was just kind of like, he's different to me at the beginning of the season. Austin Cindric, like at the beginning of the season, I'm kind of like, eh. But then like 5 to 6 races in, I'm like, now I remember what this is all about. I'm back.
The true meaning of Austin Cindric.
Yeah. You have to remember the true meaning of Austin Cindric. But anywho, in the weird in-between time between the last chance qualifier and the actual race, they did a segment with Connor Zilisch and Kevin Harvick. They kind of did this whole, like, this is our rookie, because he's like the only rookie this year. And I literally forgot he was in the Cup Series. It was really startling to see him all grown up, really. It really felt like he's all grown up. He's off to college.
SVG. He's in his SVG suit, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know. When did you get here? Did you sneak in? Like, do your parents know you're here?
Do your parents know you're here is very important. I don't know. And it was interesting because they did this whole segment. They went on like a little go-kart race, him and Kevin Harvick, and he obviously whooped ass. And they kind of did the whole segment as like, this kid's really good. We should be grateful he's here.
Like they were so like, funny.
They were like, can you guys believe this guy's in NASCAR? Like this guy.
He could have gone to Formula One.
He could have done a lot of. He could have done so many things that aren't this.
I'm just grateful he's really
here. And I don't know. Do you think that too much hype is going to be a problem for somebody like Connor Zilisch? Is there a world in which he's getting overhyped and it's gonna end badly?
Mean, from what we've seen so far, no. I think he very much lives up to the hype. And if it weren't for the playoff system, rest in peace, he would have won Xfinity last year. So I definitely think, like, I'm not worried about him. I'm truly the kid's gonna be all right. Even if he doesn't have a great season, like, we'll still be able, like, I don't think anyone's not going to give him grace of being like, well, he's in a Trackhouse car and it's so much different than the Xfinity. Like, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know. He obviously did well in Bowman Gray. We'll talk about the actual race, but he didn't even have to do the last chance qualifier. He made it into the show all on his own. So did SVG, by the way.
Guys. I was like, what? He's done his research over the offseason, and the man's learning ovals. They said no more Roval, and he said, fine, watch this.
Guess I'm going to have to just get good at everything else now, huh?
Your mistake.
Do you think it's the new number? He's grown in power with the 97.
Oh, he's leveled up by like 9 points.
I'm not good at math. I'll take your word for it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
9 points.
She's right. She's right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we start the actual race. We're doing 200 laps around Bowman Gray. Caution laps do not count in the lap count. Fine, I guess. I would have rathered, just a thought, 500 laps. Caution laps do count.
But they count. I would have rather every time there was a caution, they went back and started from the beginning.
It's like a video game where it's like you haven't reached the next save point.
There is no checkpoint.
All the way back.
There is no checkpoint.
You have to go all the way
hell.
This is hell. This is hell. So yeah, we get going. Kyle Larson won pole. Then we did this whole
everyone
reigning
booed.
Champion. I was like, please no, please don't do this to me. And for a while there, he was like doing fine out front, and I really thought he's about to ruin fucking Bowman Gray for us. We're about to watch this whole thing because I'm pretty sure Chase Elliott was on pole last year when he won. I think I might have made that up.
So. Well, here, I don't know. Live fact checking. Fox News could never. I get it.
Take that. Take that. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Chase Elliott.
Dude, sometimes I know a little bit of wheel. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. 200 laps of Kyle Larson winning at the end. Like, that's not the Bowman Gray I know and love.
I would rather die.
Like, no, literally. I was like, please. But then 40 laps in, there is a caution for a weeper. And so basically what they did, if you remember, we were supposed to do this race on Sunday, and it snowed a whole bunch. And so they took all of the snow, and then they just pushed it all the way to the top of the track, and then they put the concrete barriers around it. Thus, as MJ is
like a beaver.
Like a beaver, they dammed it up behind the concrete barriers. Well, then it started to get a little warm and started to melt, and the water was seeping under the concrete barriers and onto the track. And they were like, that is not good. And that's not how a racetrack should be. So they did a caution for the weepers. And they only had to do this once, surprisingly, but they made it sound like this was going to be a fucking ordeal. So I was like getting nervous, but they only did it the once. On lap 54, we have our first true caution with a Bowman Gray style spin. Basically, Bubba is trying to get to that inside line and checks up, and then everyone behind him spins and crashes a little bit. This is like a representation of the interesting restarts at Bowman Gray, because you do the normal choose the whatever, you go pick your side, but in reality, you kind of always want to find your way inside this single file line around the track, the shortest way around on the inside line.
Right.
So you have to kind of do when you're trying to get on an interstate and like merge, but like nobody wants you to merge. It's my nightmare. When I go to sleep at night, this is a nightmare situation for me where it's like, I really need to get on this interstate, but nobody wants to let me merge in. The restarts are the only hope, basically, for this race to be more than just Kyle Larson rolling around and eventually winning the race. But then people started to hate the cautions, even though I believed the cautions were making it interesting.
Who was hating the cautions?
All the boring people. All the boring people. Yeah. It gets boring when they finally get in that single file line. It gets a little bit boring, guys. Bowman Gray is about the restarts.
It's a football field. Did we expect them to run green the whole time? No, that's part of it. You guys didn't want stage racing? Well, then we're going to have some cautions. Decide.
Yeah. Well, eventually Kyle Larson finally loses the lead. It's to Byron though, so I don't know.
Byron.
Is that better?
I think it's better.
Okay, fair enough. Interestingly, we have Chase Briscoe and Ty Gibbs who are looking very strong, and they're kind of sneaking their way up there. Eventually, they start, battling for the lead with Byron. First, we have another caution though for Cindric on lap 77. He was spun by SVG. Somehow, Daniel Suarez gets involved, and Daniel Suarez is on the radio, getting like really pissed. Like he's like, "Tell the 97 I'm gonna kick their fucking ass." And I was like, whoa.
He was angry the whole race. He was out for blood. Mind you, this is an exhibition race. There are no points. There is no point. And he was acting
like it was a playoff cutoff race the way he was getting angry.
Maybe that's the energy we need. Maybe this is going to be a big season from Daniel Suarez in his Justin Haley costume.
As a Daniel Suarez fan, do you like mean Daniel, or does it, because kind of Daniel's whole thing is that he's like cheery and nice. If he becomes mean Daniel this year, does that still work for you?
Well, he's going to be mean Daniel on track. If he's mean Daniel on track, hell yeah, brother. But like, I don't want that to carry over to like his vlogs.
And hopefully the vlogs are coming back, mind you. He was cheery after the race, but I think that's almost a little bit scarier. Like, why are you yelling on track? And then when Bob Pockers talks to you in the paddock after paddock is so not a NASCAR term. I'm really sorry.
In the parking lot. When they talk
in the parking lot of Bowman Gray after the race, why are you then like, yeah, brother, nothing the matter. Just a little hard racing at Bowman Gray, right? Isn't that scarier?
He's a monster. Daniel Suarez is a monster, and we just never noticed. And I think it's important that everyone keep your peepers out. He's going to look real mean next to Michael McDowell, let me tell you.
Michael McDowell is definitely the odd one out at Spire now. It's like at first they were like a weird little cast of characters when it was like Carson, Justin, and Michael McDowell. But there's something now about it being Daniel, Carson, and Michael McDowell where I'm like, now what the hell is Michael McDowell doing here?
And I saw that like Daniel and Carson were doing like social media together and stuff, and I was like, oh, guys, did you at least invite Michael?
When are we getting Instagram reels from Michael McDowell? Like, I'm not seeing that.
He has. Do you follow him on TikTok?
No.
You've got it. Guys, he's a great follow.
I didn't know that was an option.
He posts once quarterly, and it's always very charming and religiously undertoned, which I respect. Hell yeah, brother.
How does he work that in? Really?
You'll just have to go to his page to find out.
Is it like trending audios that we're using on Michael McDowell's TikTok, or what's going on?
It's just him in the car in the DVP, like citing Bible verses.
Right. Yeah. Hey, and that's what I would honestly expect from him.
Good content.
I think we need to like kind of put together like a club of quirky kind of old weirdos and let them make social content together. Like I would love to see a vlog with like him and Brad. See how they get on.
Brad Keselowski. No, but the thing is Brad is a star. Like Brad has acting chops, so I don't think that's a good comparison. I think we need another kind of dorky old man with love.
Honestly, him and Allmendinger. Let's get that going. You guys should make way more content together.
You guys should link up. Let's see what happens.
You should start an IMSA team together.
No, for real.
I think that'd be super fun. I don't know. We got to figure out what your brand is here, Michael McDowell, because honestly, like Daniel Suarez kind of has a brand for himself. Carson kind of has a brand for himself. And I'm like kind of losing. Like, what is the Michael McDowell brand?
He's getting lost in this. Yeah, we got to.
Yeah. We got to find something for you,
find a
Michael.
way to make Michael shine. Yeah.
Make Michael shine. Daniel Suarez is a freak this year. I don't know why he's yelling at people. I don't know what his problem is and why he does it afterwards with a smile on his face. Speaking of Spire Motorsports, you know who is really shining in this race? Carson. Carson was shining like a little star in this race. And I'm kind of scared of Carson now because I'm like, are you a star? Are you a star at NASCAR? I kind of think you are.
He is.
Do you think he's going to win a race this year? I kind of think he might.
I I hope so. I think because he had plenty of chances last year, just like engine blowing up, tires going down, the usual,
Things
the
you don't want.
typical. It was like he's pathetic in like the right way. Like when those things
Where
happen to him,
not his fault. Genuinely just
not
trying
his
to win
fault,
a race.
doing his best. I don't know. I think maybe Spire has it together this year. They're taking the sparkle away from Michael McDowell and putting it into Carson Hocevar's engine so it doesn't explode when he's leading a race.
And like, honestly, if that's what Michael McDowell's contributing to the team, then
Ugh.
thank you for it.
When
Thank you
fueled
for
by
it.
Michael McDowell's sparkle. Like,
Yeah, take that. Interesting news about Carson Hocevar. He was announced as signing a contract extension with Spire Motorsports. I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but they said it's into the next decade. So I would say at least 5 years.
multi-year.
Lots of people were saying that this is a mistake. People are saying that he has so much potential. He could have gotten a seat at Hendrick. A bunch of people want to give him Alex Bowman's seat, which I'm like, hey, there's somebody in that seat. Please stop. Hey, I don't like that.
Do not.
Find a different car. Sorry. But a lot of people are saying this is a mistake. I've also seen some conversation about Spire is wanting to be a top team in themselves, and they are investing in Carson to make that happen.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that Spire was owned in part by TWG Motorsports, the same company that owns Andretti IndyCar and Cadillac F1, and that they own Will Power. They own him. Mm-hmm. That's mean. Don't say that about my friend Will Power. But I wonder, like, obviously every team would like to be a team that beats a Hendrick and a Penske and a Joe Gibbs. Do you think that it's possible, or do you think Carson's making a good investment in his future, or do you think he's selling himself short?
I think there's a lot that goes into it. Like, obviously, Hendrick is Hendrick. Like, it's a good team.
That's a good team.
Had he had the opportunity to go there, I'm sure he would have. I assume the opportunity never knocked at his door. But also the promise of Spire being like, we want to be a good team. They have these promises for the future. They've looked better over the past few years. He had multiple chances where he almost won last year. And then they're also being like, we're focused on you. Like, as much as you're investing in us, we're investing in you. It does seem appealing.
Yeah. I think like every driver at the end of the day wants to be the number one driver. And I don't think that would happen at Hendrick if Carson were to go there. He would be taking, if things go the way you losers want it to, he'd be taking Alex Bowman's seat. And do you think when it comes time to win a championship, that championship is going to go to him? Or do you think it's going to go to Kyle Larson? Do you think it's going to go to Chase Elliott? You know what I mean? Like, William Byron is also a younger driver who Hendrick is kind of being like, this is our guy in the future if Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott leave. I don't think Carson would be doing himself a service by trying to be the fourth driver on Hendrick when he could be the number one driver at Spire. And maybe that's the Formula One fan in me, to be like, you want to be the number one driver. But it's like, if Spire gets their shit together and there's a contention for a championship there, I'd sure rather be Carson Hocevar at Spire than Carson Hocevar at Hendrick.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I also think he works really well with Spire. I think Carson has a very certain personality and just like attitude that it doesn't translate to maybe all of the teams. And if he can sparkle at Spire, I don't know. Like, could you picture him at Hendrick or like Penske or like JGR? It's like, nah, I don't know if they fuck with him the way that it's like Spire lets him kind of do what he has to do to keep him happy off track. And then I think that benefits him on track. I think it's a fine, guys, do we have to be so worried about everything? Leave Alex Bowman alone. Carson Hocevar is fine.
Yeah, chill. I don't like how whenever this conversation comes up, you guys are so certain of what Hendrick car he would be sitting in. Okay? I don't like that attitude.
First of all, Kyle Larson's getting pretty fucking old. Couldn't even win at Bowman Gray. Write that down.
Lame. They said something during the race of like, this is the most amount of laps Kyle Larson has led at the Clash. And I almost thought they were going to say, and this is the most amount of laps Kyle Larson has led ever. Yeah, no, he doesn't do this anymore. He doesn't lead laps anymore. He doesn't even need to win the championship, so why would he?
Not that it matters.
He led more laps at Bowman Gray than he did at Phoenix. Take that, Kyle Larson fans. Got it. I don't know. I thought that was an interesting conversation around Carson, and I think it's very rare to see like such a commitment from a team of like, this is our guy. You know what I mean? I thought that was. The announcement felt big. They were like for the next into 2030. I'm like, what? He's gonna be old as shit.
His brain's gonna be fully developed by then, and then what? You still want him?
You guys don't want him once his frontal lobe is fully developed. Is that what you're saying? You're gonna kick him to the curb then?
They go, he's not gonna race like that anymore once his brain's thinking hard.
There's an option for some extensions once we figure out whether he's still crazy in 5 years. But right now, we really like what he's rocking with.
That's good.
That's good. Good stuff.
Good bit.
Don't worry, Carson. We'll still like it. We'll still like you even when your frontal lobe develops. You're just more fun now. Anywho, Byron loses the lead to Briscoe and Gibbs. And I don't know, there was a little part of me where I was like, I did predict that Ty Gibbs was going to win this race, so it'd be kind of funny if he did. You know?
I predicted he was going to lose his seat this year, so I'm still kind of, as a Ty Gibbs fan, I'm still kind of reeling on that.
Yeah, you were like, down. Don't win this.
Stop. You're embarrassing me. Stop.
So we had a forced yellow. This was always planned. It was like a planned halftime, just no Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I mean? Which I was honestly like, we could have brought out Machine Gun Kelly. Could have.
He's available.
I'm sure he's available. I'm positive he's available. You can afford his feet too. Do you think that this is kind of dumb, gimmicky, stupid? I mean, I did just say that Bowman Gray relies on the restarts, so I was fine with it.
It's the purpose of the race. Like, this whole thing is a gimmick. Gimmick is not a slur, guys. We're allowed to like gimmicks. We are.
We're allowed to like one gimmick
a season.
Per season. You've taken all the others. Let us have
It's either this one or the Daytona 500. I've never gotten more hate than when I called the Daytona 500 a gimmick. Besides, like, when I was like, I think it's fine if women want to race in motorsports. That was the second other time I've gotten a lot of hate.
They were like, you're going to fucking learn today.
Learn my lesson. But I think don't they kind of have to stop in the middle to, full transparency, I did fast forward through this. But isn't it to, like, make sure that the cars can continue for the rest of the race? Isn't that why they do it? But it's also so funny. And here's something I think the people who are upset are missing. They go into the parking lot. They all drive off in a single file line and then they sit in the parking lot. And that's fun. And that's cute. And we're fine. Funny. Carson Hocevar is fine. Alex Bowman is fine. Bowman Gray parking lot, fine.
The halftime is actually so that they can go off, think about their actions, come back.
Come back on. It's like a penalty. If you think about it.
It's the penalty box for hockey. Just go in there, think about it. Which is, by the way, that's the funniest penalty in any sport, by the way. I'm a new hockey watcher. I think that's funny that they have to go think about their actions.
It's so, and they have to like watch all their friends play. Like, look at now, understand what you've done to the class. Now there's only 4 of them out there. And the other team has 5 because of what you've done.
We got a note from the substitute teacher and they said that you guys misbehaved. So because of that, these 4 people who the substitute said is very good and well-behaved, they can enjoy their recess today while you sit and watch out the window and think about the recess you could have had you not been bad for the substitute teacher. Think about it.
Dude.
That they did that in NASCAR too. Go out, think about your actions, come back. I will say though, at this point, they would have had to stop anyways because it started raining / snowing / sleeting.
A wintry mix.
Pieces of sleets. Yeah, a winter mix. And so they come in, and I guess the way NASCAR does it, I'm not very familiar with NASCAR wet weather policies. As you guys can imagine, it doesn't come up often. But I guess NASCAR officially declared it a wet race. At that point, everybody put on wet tires. Have to. It's not like F1 where it's like, if you want to be stupid and keep your dry tires, you can be stupid. They don't allow you to be stupid. And then later on, this became an issue when they said, actually, it's kind of drying up out there. Let's put on some dry tires. And they said, no, it's still a wet race. You can't be stupid. No, put the wet ones back on.
Once the race goes wet, it doesn't go back.
No. And live with that. That's, yep, you said it on the internet. I think that's fine. I think it'd be more fun if they let people make bad decisions. I don't like how they're not letting people be stupid. I think that they should. I think that one team at least would have left them on regular tires.
Who do you think who was the Ferrari? Who do you think it would have been?
I mean, the way it was looking, I think it was Hendrick. They were all sorts of stupid shit going on. I was like, they would have done something stupid. I think like they would have been like, okay, everybody gets wet tires except for Chase Elliott for some reason. And we would have had to like live with that. We would have to been like, that's the choice he made.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess. I just think that it's maybe a point of strategy that could have made this even more fun. Not that the race doesn't get fun once it starts sleeting. I just thought it would have been interesting. They did also say that they didn't have windshield wipers, which they do have windshield wipers when they're on like road courses, wet weather packages. Like we saw this in Mexico. They just like were like, we have like half-assed wet weather packages, basically. We have the tires, but nothing else really. But weirdly, a lot of the drivers in the booth, Kevin Harvick and somebody else who I didn't learn their name and don't care to, they were talking about how they don't actually even like the windshield wipers. They're like, it just smears shit around. And I was like, dude, that's kind of relatable.
Because you have
that's what happened.
Ass windshield wipers. It's because your windshield wipers are ass. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be helpful.
No, they said that like, oh, when you have like all this like oil and rubber and shit on your windshield, like it's best to just let it run over the top of the car if it can. But I'm like, you're not building that much speed.
You're not going at Bowman Gray.
Yeah. Like
it's a school zone. You can't go any faster than 25.
That is like kind of funny watching these cars because I'm like, I mean, I drive faster than that. Like,
it's like you guys can't go any faster. The tapered spacers are bigger, and you're telling me you got no more oomph in that.
But I don't know. I thought that was interesting. We put on some wet weather tires. We have some people complaining about this. The younger drivers seem to be like, hell yeah. My favorite is Connor Zilic, which is like, yay, this is so fun. I love racing in the rain. But then like you have the people that are just like living with it. Like Denny, he comes over the radio and he's like, if nothing else, this is a good chance to learn something new. And I'm like, old dog, new tricks.
Aw, Denny.
Yeah. I mean, he does crash basically immediately, though.
Yeah.
Partly Zilic's fault though. So it's like maybe Connor could have been a little less excited. We could have taken it slow a little bit. But Connor kind of slides up into Denny, sends him spinning, and then Denny takes out Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and a little bit of Ryan Preece. And it looks laughable. Like basically immediately people are like, okay, so these are not professional drivers. That's good. I don't know. Connor Zilic, Jeff Gluck was tweeting, like Connor Zilic, one of the most talented drivers in the rain. Jeff Gluck was like, he beat Kimi Antonelli in the rain when he was in karting. And Kimi Antonelli, obviously one of the best drivers in the world. I think we could run with that. I think it'd be funny to have a NASCAR driver who happens to be one of the most talented drivers in the rain. Because it just doesn't come up very often.
Might as well. But he's one of the most talented drivers in the rain in not a NASCAR.
Right. No, I think that's funny.
Sure.
It's like a skill you'll never use, really. It's like when I went and took some stupid Excel class on LinkedIn to try to get hired for a job. And it's like, I'm not going to ever use Excel. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's good to know, I guess. Equals sum, whatever. Good to know. Hey, listen, not all the jokes are going to hit, guys.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I have never heard of Excel. I don't know her. Spreadsheets, not interested.
So whatever. They are driving fine. That's fine. Whatever. Driving. God, I'm really getting back into the swing of how to do race recaps, guys. I'm just like, I feel like an idiot right now. I'm just like, you guys saw the race. You don't need me to tell you.
What are you guys even listening for? We all watched the same race.
Halfway through the podcast, I'm like, why do people watch this show? So on lap 120, we have Josh Berry hit the wall and it brings out a caution. In this, we get what I think to be one of the most fun restart orders I've seen in a while. We have Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Carson Hocevar, and Connor Zilic. I want to really bring attention to Hocevar and Zilic. These are two guys that you could kind of feel like they were driving like, oh my God, I might actually win this. Cause like last 120, they think they can see the end here. They think they can see a world in which they could like win this. And you can feel the excitement of these guys. Connor, he starts riding around a little bit on the bottom on his own. And it looks really bad because there's a dry line up top that he's the only one not participating in. And it's like laughably silly to see him. He's like driving on the grass a little bit. Like he's just not doing good down there. And I started to realize, because they wouldn't let him back in the line, I'm kind of scared for next week. I don't think anybody's going to draft with him. I remembered how we had this problem with him last year. And I'm thinking, this is giving a kid who's not going to get drafted with next year. They wouldn't let him back up there. They made him suffer down there for so long until another caution came out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think unless they like do team mandated draft buddies and they're like SVG, you have to draft with him.
You have
Ross, he's new. You have to draft with him. Okay, if he gets squirrely, then you can do what you need to do. But you have to draft with him. I think the same thing's going to happen with Carson Hocevar. I mean, he wasn't even in a position to draft last year. We thought he was doing some big brain shit.
No, I think that it's funny because they're both like Chevys. So there's going to be like a Chevy mandate that's going to go out. All the Chevy drivers are going to get like an email this week that's going to be like, I know you don't like them. I know you guys don't like them. But listen, you have to be nice to them. You have to play along. Okay? Because the Toyotas, they're going to play along. The fucking Fords, they're going to play along. We can't let this tear us apart. You guys have to.
Everyone else is doing engine manufacturer tinkering in the race. And if you guys ruin this because you're afraid of the youths, I'm going to be pissed.
I just was watching him fuck around on the worst line on the track in like literally bleeding
he was
spots.
Something. He was trying something new.
The commentators were like, okay, so you guys will notice Connor is the only one doing this. And as you can see, it's because it's bad. It's not working. And he, right. Luckily for him,
learn something new.
Right. And everything with Connor, okay, so what did we learn? Don't do that. He gets saved, however, by another caution coming out. There is Bowman gets loose and runs Austin Cindric into the wall, and then Austin Cindric has a flat tire. This also takes out Blaney, who literally gets stuck behind them, and I thought that's funny. Just thought I would share that. Carson takes the lead of the race later on. I actually truly believe at this point Carson Hocevar is going to win the race. Full stop. I'm like preparing myself. Carson Hocevar is going to win this race. I'm super excited. Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs crash, but it stays green. Thought that was fun. Ryan Blaney spins, gets lapped. They don't even throw a caution. They're like, he's suffering, but it's fine. He's doing it out of the way of everyone. Caution again for a spin with Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. Sure, you guys again. It's right in front of Carson, but Carson gets to keep the lead. Whatever, I don't care. Okay, this is interesting. Ryan Preece starts complaining. Basically, like, it's fucking cold as shit out here. This is stupid. We're just riding around like idiots. Like, I kind of just want to, like, go home. He's, like, part of this sect of drivers that's like, NASCAR is stupid. Like, why are you making us do this? I will say at this point, I was kind of pissed at Ryan Preece for this. I was kind of
Really?
I was kind of like, that's not the Ryan Preece I love and adore. Like, I don't like
I
this
like
negative
Ryan Preece when
Nancy
he's
shit.
quiet. And
No,
that's
I was like, first of all, get off the radio. Get to driving. Second of all, like, I don't like this negative Nancy shit. There's nothing I hate more than drivers who complain about shit like that. Like, you know, it's such like an old head complaining sort of thing. Like, I like the Connor Zilic like attitude where it's like, woohoo, this is so fun. I love the rain.
I need a happy medium. Because like I too love complaining at work. One of my favorite things ever. Like, I'm gonna complain. I know there's nothing I can do about it, but I just gotta complain. But also, it's the only way Ryan was gonna get any attention. Or not Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. Me being like,
yeah, Ryan.
Because they just kept talking about.
Forgot his name. You're so unsure about it.
Well, they just kept talking about Ryan Blaney. They kept going, keep your peepers on Ryan Blaney. And I was like, but look what Ryan Preece is doing right in front of him. And they just refused to acknowledge him. But they let him bitch on the radio. So I think that's something.
Yeah. Well, he's driving though, like really well. Like while he's complaining, he's driving very well. He's
sandbagging verbally.
Oh, you think he's like, okay. Kind of like a Max Verstappen.
This race sucks. Oh my God, my car is so bad. Did you guys just see me? You guys just see me overtake Ryan Blaney? Ooh, yuck. It's wet and cold.
I want to go home with the trophy.
Exactly. That's exactly what was happening.
So we have more cautions. I genuinely, like, normally I try to talk about what the cautions are. There's no point at this point, guys. We have devolved into, we are racing this race one lap at a time, essentially. Like, we do a lap, there's a caution. We do a lap, there's a caution, whatever. We start having restarts, however, with SVG has found his way to the front. Correct. So we have a restart with SVG and Ryan Preece, Ty Gibbs, and Carson Hocevar. And I thought, I gotta call MJ up. I literally was like, I know she's like busy. It's a Wednesday. She's not watching this live. But I was like, MJ, I'm really scared about what's about to happen, but I'm loving it. And I was like, this is MJ's dream race, I think. A Bowman Gray with SVG leading, Ryan Preece in second, Ty Gibbs and Carson Hocevar behind.
It's perfect.
Is that I mean, I can't think of anything better.
I don't think I could have written it better myself.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Chase Elliott and Joey Logano get into it with Denny involved. So another caution. And we go ahead and do that restart again. But he's just like, honestly, he was like, Denny was having not a fun time out there. No. And I was like, he doesn't need this right now. Honestly, Chase Elliott was also not really having a fun time, but whatever. There is this one part where Connor Zilic, he maybe completely takes out Ty Gibbs and also Carson Hocevar. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I genuinely don't know why he did that. He's
trying something, guys. He's
like kind of. I think he like pushed like a little bit and actually like caused a whole wreck, and you could tell he was like, "Oh, okay." You don't bump like that.
I found out where the line is.
Lesson learned. I did kind of think like there was a part where I was like, are we going to get a Bowman Gray fight? And I kind of thought like maybe Ty Gibbs is really going to swing on Connor Zilic. I thought like there's a chance here because Ty Gibbs, I think really wanted to win this race. And honestly, so did Carson Hocevar. And they both had a chance to. And then Connor's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Guys, did I take out both your cars? I'm really sorry.
Oh, no.
Oops. Another interesting point here. Kyle Larson runs out of gas, and they just, like, let him stay on track for a very long time and don't bring out the caution because I think they were like, this is an embarrassing amount of cautions. But they were kind of like, there's no way he's running out of gas, right? And then it comes out that, like, the Hendrick cars just, like, put very little fuel in because they thought like, oh, we're not going to have a bunch of cautions at Bowman Gray.
And for what?
While it's raining.
This is who you wanted Carson Hocevar to race for? You freaking fools. But they let him, they're like, oh, he's going to slow down enough that he'll be able to get off the track because he has to pass through traffic to get to the parking lot.
They literally were like, he's going to go through the race to leave the track.
But I'm like, he doesn't have any gas, and we think he's going to, like, coast through traffic to the... And it worked exactly as you thought it would. He was diagonal on the track running out of gas as cars were coming at him. So, sure.
No, they like literally just didn't put the caution flag out for like the longest time. And I just was thinking like,
they were just...
Hey, you have to, like, I know it's embarrassing to put the caution out again because we've already done it so much today. But like for safety purposes, like he is diagonal on the track. So that
you gotta
is,
do something. They were just like, probably. We want to see what... we just want to see. There's still a chance for him. He started from pole.
And Kyle's like, no, guys, like I'm actually out of gas. Like as in like the engine's not running anymore. And they're like, no, I thought you would say that. But yeah, I think Chase Elliott ends up running out of fuel shortly after. And you can tell NASCAR's like, okay, so we didn't even think about really how you guys were going to not fuel your cars enough. And that's kind of embarrassing for us. So they let them all leave the track and refuel with 35 to go, which is hilarious because they like line up like little ducklings and go out to the parking lot. And this is the part where Carson Hocevar puts on the slick tires and they're like, no, it's still wet. And they're like, but it's dry a little bit out there. And they're like, no, you have to wear the wet tires. So they had to put them
Everybody else is wearing the wet tires. You have to wear the wet tires. Everyone else is wearing the wet tires. And you think you're not going to wear the wet tires? Mm-mm.
And then this is also, I think, the point where they kick us to FS2 for the Masked Singer to finally come on because they're like, this is getting a bit silly.
We got to get back to serious television. The Masked Singer.
Honestly, like everybody, you guys know how NASCAR fans are about Fox coverage of NASCAR. You can imagine what Twitter looked like when we got kicked to FS2 for the Masked Singer.
Dude.
But like, I do get it for the Masked Singer fans because they really want to watch their pre-recorded singing show where random people, D-list celebrities that I've never heard of, sing with weird masks on. But like, we made them watch like an hour of NASCAR that they didn't want to watch
on a Wednesday. Guys, some people need the Masked Singer to get through the work week.
They like,
what can we do?
They like need this bad.
They need this.
My favorite thing about Masked Singer, by the way, I've watched it like when it first started, the first season of Masked Singer, and what's funny is it's always D-list celebrities on that show. But when the judges are trying to guess who the celebrities are, they're like shooting way too big,
way too high.
Like they're like, I think it's Shakira, and it's like Lele Pons. It's like, no, so it's not going to be Shakira because this is the Masked Singer and this is on a Wednesday night on Fox. So it's not going to be Shakira. But that's great that you think that she would come on the show.
I love the energy. I love the confidence.
I think honestly, we're famous enough. We could go on Masked Singer.
100%. We
100%.
do hit Masked Singer, I think. Me, you, and Dario Franchitti.
I think we should send Dario Franchitti to Masked Singer.
Get him on the Masked Singer.
No, they do put like athletes on there, and it's funny because like you can tell that the judges like are not people that are like really watching sports. You know what I mean? So they're like giving hints of who it is, and like they're pretty obvious like hints, and like even then they're like, I can't think of a single person that's won a Super Bowl.
I can't think of a single football player.
Yeah, they're like, gun to my head, is it Tom Brady, please? Just tell me it's Tom Brady. That's the only football player I know.
He's the only one I know.
I think it'd be funny. Wait, what are we doing? We could totally put somebody from who in motorsports do you think secretly sings? Joseph Newgarden.
Joseph Newgarden, but he doesn't secretly sing. Isn't the purpose to put... I've never watched The Masked Singer. I only know about its lore through osmosis. But isn't the purpose that you can't sing? That's why you're in a mask?
No, so they put people that can't sing on the show, I think, for fun. But there's also the purpose of the show. And what I think it was initially intended was that it's people that you didn't know were good singers. And they're like surprising you. They're not like great singers, but they're better than you thought they were going to be.
That's
so it's
crazy. No,
it's like
I get why we had to stop watching NASCAR to tune into The Masked Singer. In fact, so this broadcast right here is going to be cut short so that you guys can all go watch that episode.
We're going back to we're going to stop the podcast right here.
We're going to clip it in.
We're going to go watch The Masked Singer. You guys get it? I think Joseph Newgarden could sing better than we. Wait, and it's a Fox show, so Fox should 100%. Absolutely be putting an IndyCar driver in The Masked Singer.
If they're on Wheel of Fortune, why not Masked Singer? They're like, the real reason we have to cut this short is because Joey Logano has to get in a woodchuck costume so that he can go sing.
That's living on the real reason. No, I think we need at least one IndyCar driver and one NASCAR driver on Masked Singer because, well, back in the day we used to have them on Dancing with the Stars, but Dancing with the Stars is a NBC thing, and now the IndyCar is not on NBC anymore. It's a whole thing. You guys understand? You guys get it? I also was watching the other day the American Ninja Warrior that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was on while I was at the nail salon. Kind of good at American Ninja Warrior. They showed Ryan Blaney first, and he was really bad at it. And then you watch Ricky Stenhouse Jr. do all the things that he just failed at better, and you can tell Ryan Blaney was like, "Well, good thing I'm good in NASCAR.
At least I'm good at work."
Got him. Anywho, Ryan Preece passes SVG for the lead. SVG oval win gone too soon. I thought it's funny that him and Connor Zilic look like gods when it starts raining. It is funny. Like even on an oval, they were like, he's really good at this rain thing.
Really good.
I remember in Mexico City last year, they were like, and he's the only one who can operate a motor vehicle in the rain. Surprisingly, he's the only one. Nobody else can. SVG, Bubba, and Connor Zilic, though, were all spun out because Chase Briscoe forgot to turn his car on an oval, which is important, and you have to do that, and he just drove straight into them. So that's, I guess, what we're signing up for this year is there's always a chance Chase Briscoe forgets to turn the car and takes out all your favorites.
That guy's
the chance of that happening is never zero.
Never zero.
Never zero. Ultimately, though, at the end, we have Ryan Preece winning the Clash. What a great day. Honestly. Oh, I forgot you had him.
My little Ryan Preece. For those of you who are just listening, I'm holding up my Ryan Preece dolphin. Well, it's a regular dolphin with a Ryan Preece t-shirt on it that Andrea got me for my birthday.
It's really cute, guys. I would love to get him another t-shirt that's like a little Coca-Cola t-shirt for Ryan's win.
I should get his first win t-shirt. Do you think they come in super duper small?
Honestly, can you take the shirt off? Like, don't do it, but like, is it sewn onto him?
No, I can take it off.
Okay, so I'm going to immediately find like an Etsy person that can just make like super small t-shirts. And like, you know how people dress up the goose on their porch?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to explain this just in case I think this might be a Midwestern thing.
Oh,
people have little sculptures of geese, just one goose usually, and they buy it and they put it on their porch and they dress it up in seasonal clothing, often to represent an upcoming holiday. And I don't know why this is such a thing, but it is a really big thing. Lately, my mom has been joining Facebook pages all about these geese. It's a really big thing with Midwestern moms. I think that the Ryan Preece dolphin could be your porch goose.
My Ryan Preece geese. Dolphin.
I'm going to get my mom's geese winning shirt from Ryan Preece's first win. I think she would appreciate that.
Every small creature I see will be wearing a Ryan Preece win shirt. Call me Snow White.
No, but of course I loved watching him win already, he then gets out of the car and gives a very moving speech. It's very adorable about how he was like, I thought I was not going to have a job anymore. I thought I was going to go back to Connecticut. I never thought I was going to get to race again. And like, I'm just so happy to be here. He is like crying, like truly crying. It's really sweet and emotional. And I couldn't find anybody that was unhappy about this win. I can't think of what the argument would be for why we don't want a Ryan Preece Clash win. And I pray that it's not his only win this season because I need him to have a points win bad.
I think it'll
need that badly.
It's going to happen. This is just based off of Bowman Gray, I'm going to base the entire NASCAR season off of Bowman Gray. It seems like it's going to be a really good year for our faves. So if your fave is not one of our faves, that sucks. Based off of Bowman Gray.
Based off Bowman Gray only, we're going to have a great time this year.
NASCAR is so back. Welcome to the chase.
There was an interesting conversation of, and this was on the teardown. I get every useful NASCAR talking point I've ever had and every thoughtful thing I've ever said, probably from Jeff Gluck. So just take that with a grain of salt. Do you think that confidence is a thing that can lead to momentum for Ryan Preece? Like, do you think that this win gives him that last little bit of something that he needs to win a race?
Oh, maybe. He did have a few chances last year. Not as many as like Carson Hocevar, but I mean, the whole team didn't win last year. Nobody in RFK's camp won last year. The RFK racing team. So I think this is going to boost morale for the entire team. I think, up and up.
I'm kind of interested. Stonks way up for Ryan Preece.
Way up.
I am kind of like, RFK is an interesting team in the way of they don't really have who their number one star driver is. Like, there are times where I'm like, it's Chris Buescher or like it's Brad or it's Ryan Preece, but it's never like obviously.
It's in my opinion, right now, with how they're raced right now, it's a very level team. Like, they all have their opportunities. I think I might even make the argument that Chris Buescher would have maybe a leg up on the other two.
I think,
he also has
Chris
it.
Buescher is the best.
Which is crazy because if there's one thing I can do, it's forget about Chris Buescher. But I would say of the three of them, I think he's had like the most consistent success, albeit consistent success for RFK. I really think that team needed something going into the season after last season where every single race, it was just like they posted all of their win graphics at the end of the season was like, we didn't get to use any of these, so I guess here they are. I was like, help them. They need this.
Yeah. Honestly, RFK, I'm doing my part. I've started shopping exclusively at Kroger for my groceries just because I think like somehow this might go back to Ryan.
It's going to help. It's called funding.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see a true Ryan Preece win. But for now, if anybody tries to take his joy about the Clash and try to argue, oh, it's just a Clash, no point race, you suck majorly, and I would like you to can it. Hate that. Don't do that. There was one lady that was trying to kill his joy. So when he gets out of the car, he starts like saying fuck a lot. I'm going to be honest. Fuck is clearly Ryan Preece's favorite cuss word, okay? He was saying fuck a lot. And they like weren't censoring it. And I thought it was funny. Like he was saying fuck like under his breath. Like he was like getting out and be like, fucking A, like that's crazy. Like, holy fuck, I can't believe I just won that. And some lady was like tweeting at every single tweet that NASCAR put out and like all of like the reporters and everybody that was tweeting about this race that like Kroger should stop supporting RFK because like kids are watching and they're just like saying fuck on live TV. It was funny because the whole internet, I know you're not on Twitter anymore, which is why I'm telling you this. The whole of NASCAR internet on Twitter like united against this lady. And they were like, I think Ryan Preece should get to say fuck as many times as he wants.
As he wants.
And we don't agree on a lot of things around here.
What do you mean kids are watching NASCAR? It's Wednesday. The Masked Singer is on. Kids weren't watching Ryan Preece say fuck. But I did
don't
see...
have FS2.
No.
Kids don't have FS2.
They stopped watching 15 laps ago when we got pushed. I did see that they ruled that they weren't going to give him a fine for
And I was
saying
like,
fuck.
right, because you should have censored
Justice.
him. He shouldn't censor himself. Whoever was on the button should have hit the button. That's how live TV works. He should not censor himself. He can say fuck if he wants.
Free speech, Fox.
Fuck. See, I just said it in solidarity. But yeah, I guess we're going into the Daytona 500 next week. Okay, finally, one last thing. I said that Bowman Gray was hella fun. And I know when things are fun around NASCAR, that means usually it's going to go. I do think that this race was a 50-50 split. 50% of the people thought this was like embarrassing, shitty, bad, whatever. 50% of people were like, let's just have fun. I'm assuming you fall on that this is fun territory.
Yeah, I fall on the right side of history, which is this
Right.
is fun. This is a gimmick. This is for no points. It snowed in North Carolina. We're here for a good time. And then things are going to get sad for the next, 36 weeks? Like, let me have a second.
Right. So the side of the internet, and there's some good people. There's good people on both sides here.
Jesus Christ.
But the side of the internet who wants to be on the wrong side of history, like some people that are kind enough to follow me on Twitter that had to respond to this tweet, Alex and Kyle, they were like, I think it needs to go back to being at Daytona. The Clash needs to be at Daytona. Because it's part of the building the hype for the Daytona 500 and blah, blah, blah. And they had the nerve to tell me Bowman Gray should be an all-star race. Well, listen here, buckos. I don't watch the all-star race.
No, that's an unimportant race.
It's dumb and on the same weekend as the Indy 500 qualifying. So you know I'm not watching that shit. So don't say Bowman Gray should be an all-star race because that doesn't work for me and my schedule. I don't like that option. What do you think about the argument that it's meant to hype the Daytona 500, thus should be at Daytona?
Dude, if we wanted the Daytona 500 to be a good race, we would fix our speedway racing packages. Why are we hyping up a shitty product? Like, it's like to have this argument, we have to have 100 other arguments before it, and we are never going to get to the root cause, which is we got to bring back the playoffs. The only way to make the beginning of the season better is if we make the end of the season really, really ass. But also, I think I'm still of the camp that I think it's weird that the Daytona 500 is the first race of the season, or like the first points race of the season, just because I'm like, you're starting on what I would kind of consider, only based on what I've seen, which is the race. It's just it is kind of gimmicky. Like, speedway racing at Daytona, in my personal opinion, is kind of a gimmick, which is fine. But I think starting it with Bowman Gray being like, we're going to do something fun. We're going to introduce a lot of the drivers, get new people intrigued into NASCAR. And then while they're here, we're going to be like, if you enjoyed this fuckassery, wait till you see what we do at the Daytona 500. But I don't know if we need Speed Week, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to have Speed Week and it's just going to be a week of poor Daytona 500 Speedway package product.
I think the Clash needs to be something that is uniquely different from an actual points race. And Bowman Gray, to me, does that. Like, I think it's silly. It's fun. It gets to like what people like. The whole thing about Bowman Gray was that they went back to Bowman Gray to try to like appeal to this like old school NASCAR fan.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean? And I think it does that. I think it's like close to home. It's not like that far for like them to haul the cars out. I think it is uniquely different from a true point scoring race. A lot of the ideas I hear for the Clash, I'm like, but then that's just a race.
Right. And we don't need to add another race to the schedule.
I don't need another race.
There are already too many. There are already too many.
So I think like when it was in LA, I think that's fun. I think that's uniquely different enough from a true race. It's like getting a new audience, whatever. If we want to do something kind of like that, but maybe just not in LA, I would be totally on board with that. or
Right.
a Bowman Gray, or if there's like other traditional tracks that have like fallen off the calendar that you guys think is like worth like, you know, putting back on the calendar just for this clash to like kind of, you know, I think it'd be a fun idea if the clash was in a different place every year. I know that that's obviously easier said than done, but
Yeah.
I just think whatever we do, it can't just be a race that's already on the calendar.
No.
And I'm gonna be honest, I've never watched the Clash at Daytona, so I will admit some ignorance there. But I'm like, how is it
I
like not
have.
just more racing at Daytona, which
It
I don't
literally
really
is.
like to begin with. I'm not that big of a fan of the Daytona
Right.
500, so now you're just giving me more of that.
You're not going to show that to people because they used to play that back in the good old days when the Tubi channel was
Yeah.
in its prime, the very beginning. They played that literally the entire week, and it's not enough to get, like as you were saying, new people into the sport. Like it's not in a unique location. There's no novelty to it, which I think racing around a football field, just that sentence, there's some novelty to it. People are going to tune in to be like, no, what the fuck is happening? It's like, oh, they're racing at Daytona, and they're like, well, likely place for them to race.
Yeah, like
Yay.
and I get why people like this whole like idea of maybe once what was the speed weeks at Daytona and like all this
Yeah.
shit. But it gets to a point where I'm like, if we do the Clash at Daytona and then we do the duels at Daytona and then we do Daytona, and I'm watching the ARCA, the truck, and the O'Reilly Auto Parts series race at Daytona, and then I'm watching the Daytona 500. Guys, it gets to a point. I understand Daytona. I get it. I'm familiar.
It's also just a lot of time to expect people to spend in Daytona. Period.
I think that maybe guys like you guys have won a lot of battles this year with like you guys got rid of the playoffs, you got rid of the Roval, you got rid of all the things that were gimmicky and meant to make NASCAR appeal to a new audience, and you wanted things to go back to like the traditional NASCAR ways. I think we've won a lot of those battles this year. I don't think that should extend to the Clash. I think the Clash is allowed to be a gimmick. It needs to be a gimmick. It needs to be a novelty. I love Bowman Gray. I loved the LA. I have watched the LA Clash. I think that's fun. I think maybe that's like kind of what it has to be. It needs to be either a Bowman Gray or like an LA situation. If we want to do what we did at LA, just like in a different city, I would be totally on board with that. Like kind of like a stadium series sort of thing somehow. Like that would be very fun. It needs to do something though that's not just go to a track we already race on like several times a year. I'm gonna go crazy, guys. We can't add more races to the NASCAR calendar. That's like the one thing we can't do. We just can't do that.
Everything but that. This all being said, I wouldn't be surprised if next year we have the Daytona Speed Week.
No, it's like they're getting the woke mob is getting everything that they want.
I know.
No, when I saw people tweeting about we need to bring the Clash back to Daytona, blah blah blah, I was like, fucking A. And they're gonna listen and they're gonna
100%. Because I think they're floundering. I think they're shaking in their boots right now. But at least they can always fall back on, like, while NASCAR may not be in its prime and actively has a lot of issues, at least they're not IndyCar doing the fuck-ass 250 in Washington, D.C.
I was literally thinking the only thing that could be more pathetic than this is the American fucking Freedom 250. That's the only thing more pathetic than this.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to do the Clash. It's actually going to be a street course and it's going to be in Washington, D.C.
I'm going to fucking kill myself. No, that's the thing too. That's the thing too about propaganda and sports washing. It all comes back to this. At least NASCAR is giving us an interesting propaganda product. The San Diego thing feels less like dick sucky and more of like they at least didn't do the DC street race thing. That's like basically the bottom of the barrel.
It's
when it comes to sports washing.
100%. He went straight down when he went for his sports wash.
Roger said, I'm going down.
I'm diving in. Oh, God.
I'm about to dive in. That was Roger Penske to the fucking bottom of the barrel.
To propaganda. Oh, God.
Anything else that we want to say? Who do you think is going to win the Daytona 500 next week?
Oh,
wait, we already predicted this. We predicted this in our prediction.
Oh,
video.
what did we say? What did we say?
I don't care. This is an opportunity to predict something different.
I think it's going to be...
Well, because we've seen them drive now. We can change our prediction based on Bowman Gray, which is definitely representative. And with that,
as I said, of the whole season.
Of the whole season. With that being said, I think Daniel Suarez is going to win.
Okay, I was going to say Michael McDowell, so we're kind of in the same energy.
Okay, cool. Okay, so congratulations, Spire. Something big is happening for you in your future.
Big things coming. Did you already say that you can get hats through next week?
No, I was thinking about how pissed I am that I didn't say that at the beginning of the episode because nobody's going to be listening this far. So we should probably post about it on social media again.
We can post again. I can repost it because we kind of went really hot into the fuck this guy. And then it would have been hard after to be like, and if you're still around after that.
So, fuck ice. We are selling hats.
They are blue. It'll be
not
good.
Red. Thank God.
Oh, could you imagine?
We would never do that to you guys. So we are selling lapsdown hats. I can show you what they look like.
Get a hat. Get an example for the audience.
This one is signed by Connor Daly.
Right.
Whatever. So yours won't have that, but it is
a nice guarantee.
Maybe for a surprise. No, I should. What if I just surprise somebody with a Connor Daly?
With a Connor Daly hat.
So this is what they look like. They're embroidered, good quality hats. The order form is closing on the 13th, and I will be sending them out as soon as I possibly can. And they're great. You should order one. We have a fun little club of people that have a lapsdown hat, and we would love for you to be part of that little club. And we only do merch releases maybe once, twice a year. Like, we don't do them often. So if you really want a hat, now is your chance. $30. There's a form in the notes for the show. Encourage you to sign up and get a hat. And you're going to be thinking, is this a Google form that asked me if I Venmo'd Andrea? And yes, that's how we do that. Someday when we're a production that can afford maybe a website or something, you guys will be the first to know. But for now, that's just how we do this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyways, The Masked Singer's up next. You can listen to the rest of our podcast over on Patreon. We are going to cut to Masked Singer.
Oh, God. Anyways, bye.
Bye.